claw of a velociraptor, the talons of birds of prey, top of the food chain, the ultimate predator. Eagles, hawks, owls, vultures, rulers of the skies, hunters and masters of flight. Welcome to Predators on Wings.
Hello everyone, and a very good morning to all of you. How is everyone feeling today? Feeling good? Alright, feeling pretty good. Now my name is Nina and I am a Raptor Ranger. My team and I are passionate about understanding and protecting birds of prey.
Hi, I'm Daria. So we conduct rescue and release efforts. We also help to take care of the birds here. And today we are going to introduce to you some of our favorite predators on wings.
So everyone, when you're ready, eyes up on that cliff. Now that is Susie, our American bald eagle. Well, now Susie is a female raptor, and all female raptors are larger and heavier than the males. Susie has also been with us for almost 25 years. Her beak and talons are huge, and she is an unmatched huntress.
So Susie here, she weighs 4.7 kilograms. When flying at high speeds, she's able to lift up an entire prey that weighs up to 4 kilograms, which is almost her entire body weight.
Now another fun fact about bald eagles is that they build really huge nests, and they can go up to 10 feet wide. So we're going to take this stump as a marker, and I'm going to walk this much. This is 10 feet wide. They can also build up to 20 feet tall, which is 5 times my height. Now that's a pretty big nest.
Very impressive nest indeed. You know what, everyone? I think Susie here has done a wonderful job. Time for her to head back home. But me and Susie, everyone, our American bald eagle.
Daria, did you hear that?
Ah, that's a familiar song. Look, right up there. Let's now send our white-bellied sea eagle. White-bellied sea eagles are the largest. We're the greatest chicken farm in Singapore.
Now, white-bellied sea eagles have rough underside on their talons, which help them grip on slippery and struggling prey, like fish or even snakes. And in fact, they specialize in catching venomous snakes.
So here with me, I have a replica of a venomous sea snake. Now keep your eyes on Nelson. When it toss this into the pond, he's going to snatch it from the surface of the water. Alright, here we go. Diving down, first dive!
Now, I know that's pretty quick, and some of you might not have caught that, but don't worry, just take a look at this screen. We have a close-up. And look at that powerful grip. Let's give Nelson a round of applause.
That's why everyone, the white-bellied sea eagles are actually my favorite bird of prey spot in Singapore.
But that's not the only bird of prey you can spot in Singapore. There's also the gravity kite. So let's say hello to Sapphire. Look at that.
Oh, nice catch.
Now Sapphire is a medium-sized raptor, but don't let her size fool you. She can steal prey from a bird as big as Nelson, the white-bellied sea eagle.
And when you're walking around the parks in Mandai, do look up. You might be lucky enough to spot yourself some wild white-bellied sea eagles or even wild brownie kites flying in the skies. So this is what they will look like. The one on the right would be the white-bellied sea eagle, and the one on the left, the brownie kite. So it's very easy to spot the differences between these two birds. First would be their obvious size difference, and then their coloration. Last but not least, the shape of their wings. So white-bellied sea eagles, when they're flying, they have a V-shaped wing with a wedged S-shaped tail.
While brownie kites like sapphire have M-shaped wings and a U-shaped tail. They're also much more brownish in color. So with that, I think Sapphire has done a wonderful job. It's time for her to head back home. Beautiful. Let's give her a big hand.
Each year, 2 million raptors migrate during the winter, from their breeding grounds in Europe and Asia, flying all the way to as far as Africa. It is a perilous journey, and thousands never make it to their destination.
Thousands around the world are being killed for sport. So we need your help to protect and save our birds, or our skies will soon be empty.
Birds of prey are vital to the health of our planet. They help to remove old, sick animals, as well as help to get rid of pests. So one bird in particular helps us with pest control. That bird would be the owls. So the rodents that these birds hunt for never hear them coming. And this is because owls, they are the masters of silent flight. So joining us out here, we have Latin, our Malay fish owl, and on this corner, we have Soren, our barn owl.
Now, Dara mentioned something about silent flight. It's possible it's because owls have soft edges at the tip of their feathers, which helps them with air turbulence and reduces noise, making their flights as quiet as a whisper. They also have excellent eyesight and binocular vision, just like us.
So the colors of their eyes also tells us when they like to hunt. So owls with yellow eyes, they tend to hunt during the day. Owls with orange eyes, they like to hunt during sunrise and sunset. Last but not least, owls with black eyes, they tend to hunt during the night. So with that everyone, let's give our lovely owls, Latin and Soren, a warm round of applause. Thanks for joining us out here, guys.
Now you've seen some impressive flight maneuvers from our American bald eagle to our white-bellied seagull and even our brownie kite. But did you know that some birds of prey prefer to take a stroll instead of flying? So Dara has set up the stage for our next predator, who looks like a falcon with sharp beak and talons, but behaves like a vulture and will feed on carcasses. So everyone, from the South and Central America, let's welcome Raul, our southern-crested parrot.
This is an unusual bird of prey. He prefers to spend most of his time on the forest ground foraging for food. So using his long legs and flat claws to overturn the rocks in search of insects. And he will even flip over large tree barks to find more food. And right now Raul is very busy turning over each rock in search of the treats that are hidden underneath. There you go. One last rock. Fantastic. Now as Lena mentioned, they also behave like vultures. So when you come across a large carcass with lots of vultures feasting on it, you'll even find some southern-crested carpers joining them in the feast. So he makes nests and even steals food from other birds. But if the insects were to take off and fly away, they are able to make vertical flights into the air to catch them. Just like this. Very patient. It's a very awkward silence too. Well, they're not impressed. You know what? Let's impress them. Let's try higher. There you go. Well done.
Daria,
Yeah?
I think he can go higher than that.
Higher than that.
Higher than that.
Okay.
Try to clear around. Okay, but I'm going to stand here, and you're going to go all the way on the ground, and resources like that one. They need some bird friends to do the hard work first. Friends like vultures. But vultures are widely misunderstood birds. When you see them on TV, they are portrayed as evil, circling around the skies with ominous music and a sense of impending doom. But we are here to tell you the real story.
Vultures, they use columns of air to fly and glide as they search for dead animals using their sense of sight and smell. Vultures, they prevent the spread of diseases.
So with that, let's meet our very first vulture, Zena, our turkey vulture. Now these birds come from the Americas and are one of the few with a highly good sense of smell.
So this means that the turkey vultures are usually the first to the scene of a carcass. Now they would act as a smoke signal with hundreds of turkey vultures flying together to descend on the carcass as a cue for other vultures to join the feast.
Now another fun fact about turkey vultures is that they have really acidic stomach acid, and it's as strong as car batteries, which helps them digest carrion. So with that, I think our turkey vulture has done a wonderful job. It's time for her to head back home. And home is right over there. I think we
For a round of applause, everyone. Let's give it up. There you go, Dina, our turkey vulture.
Now our next scavenger bird is also from the Americas. In Mayan legends, these birds were seen as the messenger between humans and gods, earning them the title king. So everyone, let's welcome our magnificent King Vulture, Concalves. Now these vultures are the only birds with multicolored head and piercing light-colored eyes.
Soaring over 8,000 feet, the king vulture reigns over other vultures in the skies. And when they descend upon a carcass, the other vultures would make way for the king to join the feast.
But the feast only really begins when the king vulture arrives. That's because king vultures have short, strong beaks to rip, pull, and even turn over medium-sized carcasses. That's something other vultures with short and narrow beaks can do.
That's right, so in order for the other vultures to get to the meat inside, they would need the river. They would need God's salvage. And that's why these birds earn the title King Vultures.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, eyes on the screen. Now that looks like a scene of chaos. A bunch of pretty birds competing and stripping a large carcass down to its bones.
But vultures, they are a social species and they respect their place in the pecking order. So when vultures gather, there is a feeding protocol.
So let's meet our very first guest at the feast, our African white-backed vulture. Now these birds are the middleweights who eat the flesh and organs of the carcass. Once the carcass is found, they will wait nearby before beginning to feed. But once they get going, about
vultures in the wild. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, about 11 species of vultures in Africa clean up to 70% of the continent's carry. So we all would be in a lot of trouble without vultures.
Because around the world, we're losing these amazing birds for many reasons. Poison carcasses, deforestation, electrocution, and even superstitious beliefs. Now the only way to save these birds from going extinct is through conservation efforts. So everyone, let's take a moment and give a big round of applause to these amazing birds who keep our environment safe.
And today we met raptors and scavengers, these kings of the skies and the waters of our earth. They are a part of our ecosystem, a part of our planet. And if we lose them, we would be losing a part of our family.
So everyone, thank you for coming down today, and let's do our part to live in harmony with all. Predators all the way!
Once again, thank you for joining us here this morning. If you'd like to learn more about parrots, toucans, pelicans, or flamingos, do head back here in the Sky Aviary Theatre at 12:30 p.m. for the Wings of the World's presentation.